I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So the first is going to be community economic development. Hi,
Good morning.
John.
How are you?
Well, how are you?
Excellent. You?
This is just housekeeping, really. This is the water and sewer grant that the state approved for the Thompson Township Water Treatment Plant. And it's just, you have to send them status reports to let them know how much money has been spent and who put the money in, and just to keep it balanced.
All right. We could do a read on number 1.
The Office of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the Ohio Community Development Block Grant Program Status Report for grant BW 13181 Thompson Township Water and Sewer Grant for the period March 3rd, 2014 through September 1st, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Motion approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Good morning, Anita.
Anita, how are you?
Everybody? I'm really good. It's not raining. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All's right with the world.
Good day to be out in the tree stand.
Oh, that's right. It's that I know. You see them coming in the restaurant and they're camouflaged.
The
That
deer?
time of year.
Yeah, I just thought,
Maybe they're all going with
That's
their
I gotta watch them dress them sometime, and see how they put the clothes.
They're a good payer. Don't make fun of them.
All right, so we've got the new position for assistant program administrator.
We're very appreciative. You know, as we are making plans for the future and really concerned with stability and how things are handled, there's a lot of money over there, so, well, not laying around the ground.
Thank you. Clarify. Excuse me, you get a broom, I'll be back. I'll get a broom, I'll be right back.
We have deer and we have money.
Right.
That's part of succession planning, is you're putting more responsibility on staff, and at some point it's appropriate to adjust.
And the timing is right. I mean, it's the perfect time to do it, so.
Okay. So then could we read number 2?
The Office of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board approve the new position and job description for Assistant Program Administrator number 1404 to be effective October 12, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Motion approved. And then this is for the organizational chart to include that position. So if we could read 3.
The Office of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board approve the revised organizational chart to include the position of Assistant Program Administrator number 1404 to be effective October 12, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Motion approved. And then lastly, Anita is number 4 with the position for Kelly.
Yeah, thank you very much for doing this. It makes a lot of difference. Secure the position, secure the employee.
Yep, no problem. She does a great job.
She does that.
Okay, so if we could read number 4.
The Office of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board approve the promotion of Kelly Belconis to the position of Assistant Program Administrator number 1404 to be effective October 12, 2014 at the rate of $16.94 per hour. After the successful completion of a 180-day probationary period, the rate will increase to $17.83 per hour.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye. Motion approved.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you, Anita. Have a good day now.
Okay.
Okay, and County home?
Karen.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Karen.
Hello.
Good morning.
The second reorganization of the day.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Well, your first one is
Oh, sorry.
number 5.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
This is just, she's an excellent worker, we're in preparation for this, going to be probably some changes on it, so we're moving her up to full-time because everything takes forever and
Sure.
it's important to do. And this is also a result of that, the efficiency assessment that, we did. There's gonna be a lot of changes, and I hope you guys support what we're doing, I really do.
All right.
I
We
was-
better.
I know, it was your idea.
We hired somebody to come in and assess
I
the
know.
issue. If we don't do that, we're
You know,
gonna be kinda,
And as it unfolds, it was good. It was good. I was nervous about it, but it was a good thing.
Okay. So then if we could read number 5.
The county home is requesting the board approve the reclassification of Dawn Clifton from part-time attendant number 1504-1 to full-time attendant number 1504 to be effective October 12, 2014 at the rate of $9.39 per hour. At the completion of her 1,000-hour probationary period, the rate will increase to $9.89 per hour.
so move.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. And then for
Thank you.
6, we've got the county home is requesting the board approve the new position and job description for the senior attendant, number 1506, to be effective October 9th, 2014.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. And then.
I just
the-
want to tell you, that doesn't mean we're hiring more people.
Right,
That's
no, we
just-
understand,
those are
it just,
internal.
yeah. And then
Okay.
as far as number 7, then we'll do a read on that to the change to the organizational chart for that senior attendant position.
The county home is requesting the board approve the revised organizational chart to include the position of senior attendant number 1506 to be effective October 9th, 2014.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. And then number 8.
The county home is requesting the board grant permission to advertise internally for a period of 5 days for 3 positions of senior attendant number 1506, 1 position for each shift.
So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Okay, Department of Water Resources. Morning, Jerry.
Good morning.
Alrighty, Jerry, this is for,
This is the contract to hire Heston Associates to do some engineering work for our, to replace the pump station that's in our Scarsdale on Coy Lane, our Scarsdale sewer system there. That pump station, that sewer system was put in 1964. We've been
64.
Yeah, so we've been, you know, working, trying to maintain, trying to upgrade, trying to do whatever we could to keep that pump station running, and we're just at a point that it's deteriorating to such a point that we need to replace it, and it's, you know, there's newer technology now that'll make it more efficient, and we can get it to run more efficiently, as well as be easier to repair. Right now, it's got the old system of a wet well, and then everything comes up through another set of pumps in a dry well, and it's almost impossible for our guys to get into that dry well area and work on the pumps.
Where's that at? Yeah.
It's on Coy Lane, it's in Russell, but you actually have
Okay.
to go through Chagrin Falls to get to it.
Yeah,
It's-
okay, that's right, I thought that's where it was.
I was gonna say, it's, pointing out easily on the map, it's this road right there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You have to come off of I think it's Falls Road, in order to get, it comes
Yeah.
through.
Or off of
Coy-
Russell
Coy-
Road, yeah.
Off of Falls Road, then you have to go Apple,
Right.
Apple Lane, and then Coy comes off of that.
Yeah, okay.
So this equipment only lasted a half a century?
Yeah.
I mean,
Now, what area then, that serves how many people?
That is just our Scarsdale subdivision that has 37 properties.
Where is that pumping to?
The pump station, it pumps to our Scarsdale wastewater. And actually, it's the way that road, when you're coming in, it goes down into a valley and then comes back up.
Mm-hmm.
That pump station is really only pumping for, I think it's 8 or 9 of the lots of
I see.
that subdivision. It then pumps up to the top of the hill, that then gravity's down to the other bottom of the hill where it starts up.
if the new stuff lasts as long as the old stuff, none of us are gonna be another 50 years.
Yeah, our guys do a very good job of keeping the equipment running the best they can, and at some point it gets to a point where it's more cost effective for us to just
Oh, yeah,
replace the
definitely.
system. especially as you get into the older pump stations and that where they're set up, that, you know, they're not
Yep.
necessarily set up to be easily worked on at a, you know, at a need. So.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. So we could read number 9 then.
The Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve and execute the agreement between the Geauga County Board of Commissioners and Hassan Associates Engineering Incorporated for engineering services for a replacement of the Coy Lane lift station in an amount not to exceed $18,000.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. Sounds good, thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Okay, are we doing 10 then with the maintenance? Okay.
Mhm.
Glenn, come on up, then we'll do this here. Morning. So Glenn, basically this is just to finalize what we discussed on Tuesday?
Correct.
All right.
Right, it's, right now 41,000, so
And that's for a new new?
that'll be the new
Yeah.
system, 50K.
Okay.
Right.
How long before it's up and running?
I hope by the end of the weekend,
By the end of this weekend,
I hope.
we have it or it's en
No.
route?
It's,
I mean, I
It's
know we
sitting
haven't
in a
voted
shop.
for the money, but I hope it's on its way.
it's sitting in the shop, so it's sitting in the shop
Okay.
right here, close within Geauga County, so.
Oh, okay.
So they'll be able to pull it out of the shop and then, bam, and get it over there. So, and if it all works and this goes through today, we'll have it on site today, and then we'll start work tomorrow.
Okay,
Okay,
now the
great.
price is a little different than what you had here.
Correct. That was for the rigging.
Well, no, there was, on this one, you had rigging on here, you had like 40,005.
858.
Yeah, 858, 40,858, and this is 41,157. It's not a significant amount of money, but what was the difference?
I'd have
Tax.
trouble. No.
No, I just being facetious, sir.
It's the blue coral tree.
Yeah, because the shipping was,
No, that's, if you look on page
Okay.
2 of 2, we put a power export gateway communication card on it so that
You
we
gotta
can
go all the way
monitor
back
it.
into the,
It's on, and that, for that power communication card, that was $300.
okay, so we're getting some, yeah,
he's
all
looking
right.
at the quote.
Correct.
I got no problem with it.
It's a communications card that goes in that we can monitor it from off-site now.
It'll be on the network?
Yeah. That's what Eric Bartholomew from DBS is gonna work on and get that, so we can do that. So they requested that. Have that
Okay.
card.
Okay, thank you. I just, it was a little different, and I,
Right.
All right.
I'd like to go ahead and thank, especially the sheriff, the prosecutor, the auditor, because this is something, as we do know, it went down Friday morning with all of them getting things in, getting things going for us, and especially to my staff for staying very calm, cool, especially the guys that work down there, taking a lot of beating with equipment going down and everything, and just staying calm and cool during this whole episode of getting everything going.
Okay. All right. So number 10 then.
The Maintenance Department is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract agreement with E-Technologies for upgrading UPS at Geauga County Safety Center for the year 2014 in an amount not to exceed $41,157.
so moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you, Glenn, for all your efforts.
And
Aye.
do you want to do number 11?
We just have two financials today. First one is a supplemental appropriation for the Building Standard Assessment Fund for their state remittance payment. And then we have an encumbrance for a contract for E-Technologies for the purchase of the UPS system Glenn just talked about for the safety center in the amount of $41,157.
Do we have a motion for that?
You're gonna read 11?
Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute resolution number 14-158 itemizing the financials for the meeting of October 9th, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion approved. Okay, we also, now we're going to have Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute resolution number 14-159, honoring 2014 Chapman Award winner Dorothy G. Allen. Did you want to explain a little bit about this?
Well, this is, there was a request came in our office from the Library Foundation, and gave us some biographical information.
Okay.
As the resolution states, this lady actually became the first corporate officer for North American Systems, which was Mr. Coffee. So she had a long, successful business career. And then following retirement, apparently she moved out here and became very active in the community and the library.
Okay.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute resolution number 14-159 honoring 2014 Chapman Award winner Dorothy G. Allen.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion stands approved. Okay. Number 13 is just read on 13.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve the revised budget hearing schedule that includes moving the sheriff from October 16th at 1:00 p.m. to 8:30 a.m. on October 30th, and mental health from 1:45 p.m. on October 16th to 8:30 a.m. on October 28th, and shifting Board of Developmental Disabilities from 2:30 p.m. up to 1:00 p.m. and Department of Emergency Services from 3:15 p.m. up to 1:45 p.m. on October 16th, 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion stands approved. And we've got, number 14 is, if you want to just read that
The
one there.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board concur with Parkman Township trustees in not requesting a hearing on a liquor license requested by Soy Beverage Incorporated located at 16268 Main Market Road, Parkman, C, TRFO 7677210.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion stands approved. And actually, this one here would be regarding the rehire policy. And, we have Prosecutor Place, and did you want to come up, Prosecutor, and
Sure.
give a few words on this? I know you've done a ton of research and background on this through your office.
Okay, thanks. Well, I thought I would at least be available for questions. I know that Commissioner Spitaleri originally brought this up some time ago, and I've gotten input from Commissioner Spitaleri. I've also gotten input from Commissioner Rea, and I know both of you are supportive of the concept of having a policy discouraging the rehiring of retired employees. So when we originally talked about this way back when, there was a case in the Court of Claims. ODNR has a policy that discourages rehiring retired workers. And an individual who retired from ODNR and then was not rehired for his position based upon this policy filed an age discrimination lawsuit in the Court of Claims, and, well, a claim through the Court of Claims alleging age discrimination. The Court of Claims actually found that the policy was age discriminatory. That was appealed to the 10th District Court of Appeals in Franklin County, which covers the Court of Claims. So we're not in that appellate district, but since most of these issues would go through the Court of Claims, what the 10th District decides is pretty important on this issue. So it went up to the 10th District, and after quite a bit of time passed, the 10th District did come out with an opinion reversing the decision of the Court of Claims, and found that there was not, essentially found that the policy that ODNR had was not age discriminatory, and that this employee could not prove age discrimination based upon the policy. So I wouldn't say that the law in this area is completely settled. You know, I would expect more litigation at some time, but this was a big win for people who want to do these types of policies. So, and since this is the appellate district for the Court of Claims, it carries quite a bit of weight. So after that decision came out, you know, I know that my office is talking to both of you separately, and you know, we got a lot of input from Commissioner Spitaleri about getting a policy. We've had a few different drafts of different policies, and what we've come up with is what we believe is the strongest, most defensible policy to discourage rehiring of retired workers. We also ran this by our insurance counsel, and they were okay with it. So, you know, can I sit here and tell you that, you know, the county's not going to get sued? I mean, you know, as we all know, anybody can sue anybody for anything. That's why there's so many lawyers. So, you know, and being a lawyer, I'm not going to say that that's the worst thing. It's a lot of job security. It's not, maybe not good for society, but it's a lot of job security. So, you know, if this issue comes up, you know, could the county get sued? You know, absolutely. But, you know, in any type of hiring situation, the county could get sued. I mean, you're always exposing yourself to litigation. And, you know, the safest thing to do would be to not do anything. But, you know, I think when you look at 1.0, the first paragraph, the basis for the policy, you know, now I'm delving into a little bit of my personal opinion. My personal opinion is the basis for the policy, I agree with all of those things. So if that's the type of policy that the board wants to have, if that's what they feel is appropriate for the county, I don't think you're going out on a limb to have a policy like this. I think it's legally defensible. There's a court case backing it up. Our insurance counsel feels fine with it. I feel fine with it. You know, you're never completely insulated from lawsuits, but I think that this policy is the strongest policy we can have to discourage this practice and still be legally defensible.
As I understand it, what I saw is that we're going to, pending the vote, we're going to adopt paragraph 2.0 into the policy manual, because there's a spot to put that paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
But we're omitting 1.0. Is that correct?
Well, the rationale, I think, is being documented here in this meeting, and then, so that'll be available for anyone to understand. We felt it was appropriate. The two other paragraphs that deal with the specifics of the policy are what belong in the policy manual.
Do you want to take a look at what Linda drafted to go in the manual?
Yeah.
Excuse me, I did not draft
No,
anything.
you put it into
Yeah, right, no, she didn't.
for the manual.
I'm not an attorney.
She
I
didn't put
did
on
not
a
draft
legal
No. She just
pad
put it
or
in the
anything.
format to go into the policy.
You know, I got to tell you, my preference would be to include the basis for the policy because I think it's important. Again, yeah, it is documented here, but if you feel that way, I mean,
Well, it's up to the board. If they want
Yeah,
to
I
put it
mean,
in, they put it in.
if
Yeah. Just consistent with other things we've done, that's why we did, but that's up to the board if they want to put it in.
again, the basis is there if you're in a situation where you're trying to defend a lawsuit.
Yeah, I hate
could-
to ask
yeah,
you
you
for
could
your
look-
opinion and then not take it.
Either way is fine.
Okay.
The rationale for the policy is documented here. I mean, Dave's right on that. It's just, that's a strong statement by the board. Do you want that in your personnel document or not? So that's up to you, if you want it in
And I
there.
kind of, my personal opinion, I kind of like that to be included because it
The
just.
one
it
and
gives-
two.
Yeah, it just gives a complete understanding of what our position is, you know? And, you know, with that, I want to just kind of, you know, say this is that I appreciate the position that you've taken, you know, as the prosecutor and from day one on this. You know, it's something that it's not always, seems to be always a popular position with some, but I think with most. And I think that I applaud you for the support that you've given us, you know, and I know that it's just been a matter of time because we've been waiting for this whole deal to finish up in Columbus, which has been like, you know, turtle speed. So.
I appreciate your I mean, I appreciate your patience because I know you wanted to move on this a long time ago.
Yeah.
And again, the safest at that point in time, there was only one court decision from the Court of Claims,
Right.
and it wasn't good for us.
Right.
So I appreciate your patience and waiting. But now that the appellate court's ruled on it, you know, I feel pretty confident that you could adopt something like this and we'd be in a safe zone.
Good.
Is it fair to I mean, you came up and your words were, this is to discourage this from happening. Is that too strong? Could it just be, this is to clarify the position that we've got, which then it's implied that it's, when you read it, it's discouraging it, or is that, am I making it too simple?
Well, no, I mean, I think that, again, having a policy, I know that the two of you, personally, I mean, I know that each of you are against rehiring retired applicants. You're generally against that concept.
Right.
I know that that's how the two of you feel. And so if you went on through your hiring decisions, you know, that as long as the two of you are on this board,
Right.
I would assume that you probably wouldn't be making those hiring decisions in most instances. So there's that, and then there's, well, we feel strongly enough that we want to have this to be a policy for the county that, you know, and the board wants this out here. Listen, this is our policy and this is our basis for it, and we want people to know that up front. You know, I that's perfectly understandable.
And I think to your point also, when we originally had this in place, I mean, you made a statement that was, you know, 100%, you know, supported on my part, is like you had made the statement to say, hopefully the other agencies in the county will also follow along with that policy,
They don't
that
have
we
to, but
don't
hopefully
have
they will.
control over.
The other hiring authorities,
And-
what you're
and,
the
you know,
other,
this-
okay.
yeah.
Because it's been done in other hiring authorities,
Right.
sometimes with no salary adjustment at all.
The courts are notorious for doing it. Juvenile court, they don't mind hiring people right and left.
Well, I mean, it's across the board, and I think the big thing that came up with this situation when we laid this out at the beginning, I mean, this almost goes back about a year and a half now, was the fact that I don't think that this is not a targeted policy to anybody directly or indirectly. It's a situation where we're looking ahead and into the future to protect and to be able to preserve dollars that for future generations of public employees to be able to have within that system. And we're in a dangerous position because of the lower dollars that were years ago in public service, and where the rates of salaries and wages have gone today, where there's a fast drain on the bottom that comes up very quickly. And it's a situation where we can assure that years to come, the systems in place for our retirement become solvent, where right now there's just too much of this going on that everybody is struggling across the board, from teachers to police and fire to public employees retirement system to across the board. And I think that we want people to stay forever, but it's got to get to a point where there's got to be something in place to say that if you're working for, you know, $75,000 today, tomorrow you could come back and you retired at $75,000 and now you're making $75,000 again. It's great if you're the person in that position, but we have to protect the other ones that aren't given that opportunity, and also the morale factors. And there's a lot that goes into that, but you know, I really appreciate all the efforts that you put into this, and the support. And I appreciate, you know, the support that Blake has given this also, because I know that you know, it's something that you know, down the road here we really need to just have something in place to just give people an understanding.
One last thing on my part, the second paragraph of paragraph 2.0, the second paragraph of that section, as I read this doesn't mean that it could never happen. It just sets some stringent guidelines for it to happen.
It's not a complete ban. I mean, I know that I know that it may be your preference to have a complete ban. I would tell you legally, if you completely ban it, I'm not saying that we couldn't defend that legally, but I'm a lot more comfortable with this. Our opinion is that we're on solid legal ground, and this is about as far as we should go before we start getting out onto a thinner and thinner branch. So if you did a complete ban, there would be some issues there. I think that the way that this is set up, again, there's two sides to this. I mean, and it does leave you a little bit of wiggle room. I hate to say that, but you know, it's not really a legal term, but it does leave you a little bit of wiggle room in the sense that if you get into an emergency situation, you may have to do this temporarily. I mean, if you have a situation where, you know, somebody has, you know, when they change the pension rules, then you have these rash of retirements, and if you have somebody in a key position that you can't immediately move somebody in there, you might have to keep them for 60 days after they retire, or 90 days, or, you know, and so it's not a 100% ban, but I think it's a policy that is going to discourage that, and it's the board being upfront saying, listen, if you want to do this, know that generally we're not going to let people do this. It's going to be more the exception than the rule.
Right.
And I think that gives guidance to people, because a lot of, and that's been, again, you could debate both sides of this. There's very good arguments why you should rehire retired people. I mean, I could, it's a great debate topic. I could get, you know, 10 lawyers in here and have 5 argue one side and 5 argue the other, and it would be a great debate. You know, I think everybody falls on one side or the other of that. But if this is how you feel, I think this policy accomplishes those goals.
Yeah, it gives us discretion, so it's.
Yeah, and I mean, to use your term, wiggle room, if challenged, this is more defensible.
Absolutely.
Because we're not, that's it, and we dig our heels in. It's more, this is what we'd like, this is what we strive for, and go forward. I mean, that's, I don't know how you feel about it.
I feel.
If I could add too, I think it helps employees plan.
Absolutely.
Because I think one of the problems, one of the raps against it is there was a lot of times an expectation, oh, I can just do this. By putting this out there, that allows employees to plan. If employees want to keep working after drawing their pension, they need to be engaged in looking for other jobs and in an orderly fashion, find another job, take their retirement and go to that other job. And then the county maintains, you know, the integrity of their policy, and the employee is able to take care of their family.
It also gives the next one down on the food chain, number 2 in the department, or number 3 in the department, some guidelines that, you know,
they don't have to worry about that guy above them.
All of a sudden they've been standing in, they're waiting their turn to get the job, and then the job goes to the person that has it already gets retired and then rehired, and they're sitting there going, well, when is my chance ever? That's covered in the first paragraph as one of the reasons for that.
Another reason to have the policy, again, you can't force this onto other hiring authorities, but the commissioner's handbook is kind of the standard in the county. And a lot of hiring authorities, instead of doing their own handbook, just adopt the commissioner's handbook. I mean, there are many hiring authorities that just use your handbook, and this is their policy. So you're, in a way, I mean, you are affecting some other hiring authorities by at least putting this in.
Okay.
Hey, here's how the commissioners feel. You know, other hiring authorities can change that, but if they just blanket adopt the commissioner's policy, then it's in there.
No, that's really good,
Well, thank you for your
thank you.
No, thank you.
your effort and time. Thank your staff.
Yeah, I mean, Laura does a lot of hard work.
I know. Laura does all the push-ups, and you take all the glory.
I supervise.
Okay, well, that's important.
Any other questions?
You want to amend the adoption of policy to include that first paragraph.
Right.
Well, so that's what I did. I changed
Anybody from the
I
crowd
changed
gonna
the
fire
motion.
at me, or no? We're good.
No, we have a policy
You
against
both
guns.
are wishing to know
The fire question.
So I have changed this to the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and adopt the revised Section 9 programs, adding a retired rehirance policy 1.0 basis for policy 2.0 rehired retiring policy to the Geauga County Personnel Policy and Procedure Manual to be effective October 9th, 2014.
Thank you. That's good. I move.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I think this is.
Thank you very much.
No,
Thank
it's,
Past due.
I wish some of our usual guests were here to, you know.
Yeah, I know.
So, can we expect that you're going to adopt this in your hiring authority? Do you have it already? No, I'm just putting.
No. My office does have a policy that we do not rehire retired people for their position.
I'm just messing with you.
So No, I have that, but I've adopted that policy. I actually adopted it before the Court of Claims case, so I was sweating that out a little bit. Thank you.
No,
Thank you.
Serious, thanks. All right. So, 16 and 17, we've got Commissioner's Office has requested board cancel session for Tuesday, November 4th due to Election Day. And also, the Commissioner's Office is requesting board cancel session for Tuesday, November 11th, 2014 due to Veterans Day, and offices will be closed.
I'll make those motions.
Second?
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye, motion's approved.
And
And,
have one addition, I don't know if you want to do it before you go into
Sure.
executive session or not. The Archives and Record Center is requesting the board approve an unpaid personal leave of absence for Claire Wilson for a total of 8.9 hours per section 6.12 of the Geauga County Personal Policy and Procedure Manual for time off unpaid.
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
aye, motion approved. And then we've got 18 is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board move into executive session for the purpose of discussing discipline of a public employee in the transit department. And included will be,
Linda Berhenny and Jack Jackson, Mike Casper, and myself.
And will there be action?
Yes, there will. So there'll be action recommended, so I assume.
Oh, okay, I'm
Yeah.
just getting at that we're
okay.
coming back out. I don't know if you want to go through the acknowledgements and the meetings and.
Yeah, we can
then
do
if
that.
people want to
Sure.
leave, they can.
So the acknowledgements, the weekly report from the dog warden, dogs seized, impounded, redeemed, or destroyed for the week ending October 1st, 2014, as required by ORC 955.12. The monthly financial report from the county building department for the month of September 2014. Then the meetings is Friday, 10:10, NOACA Board of Directors, 10 a.m. in Cleveland. And I don't know if there was anybody that was here Tuesday, just to kind of clarify, we took some action. Commissioner Rear and I requested Dave Laird take some approaches for phone calls to the NOACA director, which is Grace Gallucci, regarding, there was discussion stated that they were just going to have a motion we didn't know exactly what it was because Commissioner Rear and I found out about
Monday. I found out Sunday afternoon
Sunday
at the
afternoon,
pumpkin
and I found
parade.
out yesterday morning, or Tuesday morning, so, that they were trying to make some kind of a motion to try to figure out exactly what could happen with Geauga County to potentially look to either, see what position they could take to remove us from NOACA, or to somehow figure it out. It was very vague. There were a lot of different bullet points, but we were pretty much unaware of it until within hours of the meeting. So with that discussion, Dave, if you want to just kind of give a little
Sure.
explanation on your discussion.
I spoke to Grace Gallucci Tuesday afternoon. Christy was there as well. And Grace indicated that the governance committee were reacting to comments they had heard over time from various people from Geauga County about the possibility that we might want to voluntarily leave. So a majority of the governance committee decided that they wanted to have NOACA staff simply investigate that. How would that work? How might that happen? So they came up with these various scenarios, some of which are not, they concluded that by law that really couldn't happen. And Mrs. Gallucci indicated to me that Commissioner Smeedy was not in favor of formally doing a study and presenting this to the board, but the majority of the governance committee wanted it presented. So it's in the agenda for tomorrow under what's called presentation and discussion items. So it'll simply be discussed. She said to me there was not going to be any action taken on it, was simply being put out there for the whole board to hear. Because of the talk we heard from Geauga County about the possibility of leaving, our staff researched it and indicated this is how it could or couldn't in some cases happen.
Okay. And then for tomorrow, Commissioner Rear will have the engineer attendant?
Joe told me on Tuesday that he was attending.
And then I'll
I'm
have-
meeting with CCAO tomorrow,
And then
so.
I'll have, Skip
Skip
Claypool as my
indicated he would be
alternate,
there.
and I believe Mary will be there
Yes, she,
also.
yeah, she would be.
So, so we'll just try to kind of give an update on Tuesday after the meeting, and go from there.
We don't have a meeting again until.
Or, I'm sorry, till the, yep, okay. So the 13th and the 14th, we are going to be canceled, and then the 14th is Planning Commission still, at this point, on the agenda for 7 p.m. The 16th, the commissioners will hold budget hearings beginning at 1 p.m. At 10:20, Family First Council, 2 p.m. at the Mental Health. Commissioners will hold regular session on the 21st. The 21st, commissioners will hold budget hearings at 1 p.m. The 21st ADP Board, 2 p.m. at the Auditor's Office. The 23rd, the commissioners will hold the budget hearings at 1 p.m. The 23rd, commissioners will hold regular sessions
That
at...
should be 10 o'clock.
It should be
Yeah.
10 o'clock, we
10
voted on
o'clock
that
AM,
last week.
Sorry.
Or-
So 10 o'clock a.m.
And there's a question on the Nature Scopes program. I am calling to the person that wanted to schedule it. I have not heard back from her and whether they are still able to
Whether they can
come
do
in
it at that time.
or not.
Okay, so correction on the 23rd,
It's at
it'll
10
be at
o'clock.
10 a.m.
With budget hearings at 1.
Yes. Then the commissioners will hold the budget hearing beginning at 8:30, pending the motion which was approved at, on the 28th. Also on the 20th, commissioners will hold regular session. And then on the 30th, commissioners will hold a budget hearing beginning at 8:30 a.m., pending the motion which also was approved. So with that, I'd motion to move into executive session.
So moved?
Hold on a second.
Okay, I got the quote on it.
All right, back at 11 o'clock with the executive session. And if you would like to read the action taken then.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board accept the disciplinary recommendation of the hearing officer, Karen DeCola, and to suspend without pay Jack Lehman, full-time transit driver in the Transit Department for 24 hours, 3 workdays for violation of transit policy manuals, pages 9 and 10, and the Geauga County Personnel Policy under Conduct, page 33.3, 12, and ORC 124.34, neglect of duty and unsatisfactory job performance, and to further approve and execute the order of removal, reduction, suspension, voluntary disciplinary separation form per ORC 124.34 for the 24 hours. Time off is to be scheduled by the director.
So moved?
Second?
Commissioner Reer?
Aye.
Commissioner Spudler?
Aye. Motion approved.
Thank you, board.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome, thank you. Guess I moved to adjourn, right?
Yep.